My friends, I wanted to do a soul tribe reading. This is going to be about healing, so I am going to read from that This Is How You Heal book, and I will title this reading kind of like This Is How You Heal, Essay 2 or whatever. But I also grabbed a deck about healing because I thought this soul tribe reading could be focused on healing, focused on self-healing, self-growth. So I hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. It feels like summer is ending where I live, and it felt like it got really, really cold here, and then today it's really, really warm, so it's interesting. But yeah, I got the Healing Waters Oracle deck here for us to use by Rebecca Campbell. So the same person who created the Starseed. I'm just gonna see if I can tuck my hair. You don't need to watch me do this. So the same person who made the Starseed deck, and we'll just do one more shuffle. And then I'm going to read a little bit out of that book. So let's see what we need to hear as a collective. What do we need to hear today when it comes to healing? We have Isle of Avalon, healing, returning to wholeness, transformation. And we have ripple effect, part of something bigger, details are being taken care of. And I was actually so interesting. I was listening to a reading this morning by Magnetize Yourself. And she was explaining how when you heal cycles within yourself, when you learn these lessons and you ascend, you're actually helping the collective ascend because you are kind of giving off that light, giving off that healing energy. So really your healing has a ripple effect on the world, even if you don't feel like it does, it does. And I am hearing like we're stronger together than alone. Anyway, when it comes to healing. So let's see, Isle of Avalon. Let me just find it. It's on page 94. So I'll just show it to you up close so you can see it. Legend says that Avalon was the island where Britain's mythical King Arthur was taken after being fatally wounded in his final battle. First mentioned in Geoffrey of Monmouth's fictional The History of the Kings of Britain, 1136, Avalon is said to have been ruled by the powerful enchantress Morgan Le Fay and her 8 sisters, thought by many to be high priestesses, who were widely renowned for their tremendous healing abilities. Some believe that the Isle of Avalon, which is also known as the Isle of Apples and the Isle of the Dead, is a mythical place of healing that exists beyond the veil. Others say that it exists in the physical. Avalon and its healing spring water have been identified as Glastonbury in Somerset, southwest England, and even today pilgrims travel to the town. It is believed that this sacred place of healing was once surrounded by water and could only be reached by boat. This card is a card of great healing and an invitation to see your healing as an opportunity for great transformation. That perhaps the parts of you that feel as if they're dying are actually being born again anew. Maybe this healing journey is taking you somewhere truly glorious, somewhere sacred deep within. And your healing water activation, I surrender to my healing. I activate the sacred intelligence within the waters of my body. I call in all the support that's most helpful. I believe in my ability to transform and heal. And as I'm saying this, all I can smell is cinnamon. And I'm like, why can I smell cinnamon? I have to tell you guys this. So this morning I've heard about this before, and maybe you guys already know about this, but on the first of the month, it's apparently a good idea to blow cinnamon in your doorway. So open up your front door as wide as it will go and put cinnamon in your hand. The people that I follow when it comes to this stuff said that some people will say using your left hand is what you'll see on the internet, but that you should be using your dominant hand. So you should be, like for me, it's my right hand. So you fill your hand with cinnamon. I did it right before I started this reading. And now my whole house smells like cinnamon. But you go on the first of the month, you stand at at your doorway, open the door wide, face in towards your house with the cinnamon, and it's supposed to help welcome abundance. So anyway, I blew cinnamon everywhere. And then you're supposed to leave it there. So if you can, like, I actually couldn't see it. But if you can see the cinnamon like on the floor or on your welcome mat or whatever, you're supposed to leave it there. You're supposed to just, like, you're not supposed to clean it up right away. So you're supposed to kind of let that energy sit in your house. Anyway, just something that I saw that I decided to try since I was seeing it on the first of the month. But yeah, that was all. So let's get another card. Maybe you're afraid of healing. Maybe your ego is resisting it. Our ego can really resist it. There's lots of things that I know I need to work on, and my ego's like, yeah, you could do that tomorrow. You could do that next week. You could do that after vacation. And we have the ripple effect. The song Ripple Effect by Scotty Hellman could be symbolic. It is about it's about two people wanting to try something new. The lyrics, like when it comes to reconnection, the lyrics are, it's something like, I'm just as angry as my father. No, I'm just as angry as my mother, or resentful as my mother. You're as angry as your dad. And it's about, he talks about, we're just drowning in our parents' history. Like, we're just drowning in the way we were raised, the way we were brought up. Anyway, the ripple effect. My kids are coming home, so my dogs might start barking. When the wind blows onto water, ripples are formed. If the wind is consistent and strong enough, those ripples become waves, and those waves have the potential to gather momentum every step of the way. This card delivers the message of the ripple soon to become a wave. You're playing your part in the collective ocean of change. Maybe you know the part you play, or perhaps it's not clear. Your role in the collective ocean matters, and you're having an impact by the way you're showing up to your path. The ripple effect card could be a sign that a project or creation is becoming a bigger success than you may have previously thought it would. Or it could be a sign that you're part of something much bigger than just you. Perhaps you're one drop in a giant ocean, part of a constellation of souls, here to create an impact on the world. The momentum is building, the details are being taken care of. Something's swelling and growing. Don't get lost in the details. Rather, trust that momentum is building and will continue to do so. Swim your own race. Don't look around you. Something's happening, and you're an important part of it. Success and momentum are on the way. And I'm hearing, like, what is that from? I think it's when Galadriel, I know I'm showing my nerd again. I think it's when Galadriel tells Frodo, like, even the smallest of person can make a difference. And so what I'm seeing here is that, like, maybe you're someone who thinks like, oh, my healing won't have an effect on the world, but it does. It helps raise the vibration of the world. It helps and like give power to that collective is what I'm hearing. It makes us stronger. We're stronger together is what I'm hearing. The more people that heal, the more powerful we become is what I'm hearing. So let's get another card. We have Into the Unknown. So the song Into the Unknown could be symbolic. Just that whole, you could be being called to awaken if you haven't already. You could be called to start a project if you haven't already. I'm thinking about the lyrics of the song Into the Unknown. If I heard you, which I don't. So it's like that song is talking about you hear your intuition, but your ego is telling you you don't hear anything. That's just, that's just wishful thinking. It's not real. Anyway, the whole song Into the Unknown, listen to it. I'm just thinking about that. that song, everything I've ever known is here within these walls. And it talks about feeling called to branch out, feeling called to do more, feeling called to maybe even take a different path, live a different life, whatever it is for you. I'm aware of the fact that some people who find my readings might be in the beginning of their awakening. Underworld, depth, courage, facing your fears into the unknown. Anyway, now that's all I can hear. But if you haven't listened to that song in a while, maybe you should listen to it. Into the unknown, 92, which equals 11. Earth is a water planet. Seen from space, it appears blue. Water makes up 71% of Earth's surface, yet we've explored less than 20% of the ocean floor. There are creatures of the deep that have captivated humans for millennia. It's no wonder, too, that water has been used as a symbol of our inner emotional world. There's always so much for us to discover and uncover within. Are you being called to face your fears and explore the unknown? To challenge what you thought was possible? This card is a card of courage, initiation, and depth. Perhaps you're being called to make a significant change in your life that you feel scared about. Into the unknown. Or maybe what you're experiencing is more internal than that. Maybe life is calling you to venture into the shadowy depths of your own inner journey. And I'm just thinking, if I hear you, but I don't. To face the things that others may be afraid to face, to heal what may feel difficult to heal, to surrender to a metaphorical death in order to re-emerge anew. In the ancient Sumerian, I don't know how to say that, story about the goddess Inanna's journey to the underworld to meet her sister, she leaves the comfort of the heaven and earth to descend into the unknown depths. Here she encounters many trials and initiations until she returns, completely changed by her experiences. This story tells us that sometimes, to be born anew, we must face our fears and find the courage to venture into the unknown. Soul inquiry, how can you face your fears today? So what are you afraid of? Sometimes the things we're afraid of are the keys to our healing, are the keys to our success. Sometimes what we're afraid of is what something our higher self knows is meant for us, but our ego is resisting. If that makes sense. I'm being told to get one more. I wasn't going to. I was just going to get 3, but I'm being told to get another. We have plunge. Don't hold back. It's time. Go for it. Dive in. Dive into the unknown. Dive into your healing. Dive into your spiritual awakening. Dive into your soul path. Whatever this is, it's going to differ for all of us. Plunge. Taking the plunge. Taking that leap of faith. Go for it. Don't falter as you approach the water. Dive right on in, head first. Don't resist. You've been working for this for a long time. You're ready. Go for it. The answer is yes. This is a card of confirmation and clarity. It's an invitation to take the plunge and say yes. If you're someone who prefers to wait for permission or a timely invitation, you could consider this card's message just that. Is anybody else the type of person to wait for permission or a timely invitation? Again, I'm interrupting myself, but I'm not going to explain myself either. I was always someone who had to, I needed someone to lead me. I needed permission. I needed the okay. So the way that I'm thinking about this is just a funny, pointless story for you. Is if I'm at a social event and there is food, even though I'm a Taurus and I love food, and I probably only went because there was food or the promise of food, I will also not just start eating that food. At an event, at a party, I need permission from the host. I need permission from the other people. I need to wait until everybody else starts eating before I will like approach the food. Does that make sense? Anyway, I need to work on that, I think. I shouldn't have to wait for permission to eat, but anyway. There are times for waiting, for restoring, and for repairing. This is not one of those times. It doesn't necessarily mean that you feel completely prepared or fully confident. Those who dive in rarely do, but their attachment to resistance becomes less than their desire for the new. Maybe this is what's happening for you. If you don't feel ready, remember that so-called giant leaps are rarely that in reality. In most cases, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of baby steps taken day after day in the direction of a dream. Whatever it is that you most desire, the signs are pointing you in that direction. Now take a deep breath and a great big run up and take the plunge. Soul inquiry. If you weren't worried about it not working out, what would you plunge into right now? And what's stopping you? You know what I'm going to say. Your ego, yourself. So yeah, that's what we have coming out for those healing cards. And then we're going to read the second essay in this book. I already read the first one in that other reading. Okay, so we read the first one. I just want to make sure I'm on the right one. This one is... Oh, this one's even shorter. See, I'm going to fold the book, so anybody who loves books, look away. It's on page 19. That's so interesting because the card that we were just on was on page 119, so 1s and 9s could be symbolic for you. Actually, I just was told to look. The magic of love. Haven't we already read this one? Apply love to everything you do and see the miracles begin to appear. Yeah, we read this one yesterday, I think. Doing something with love supercharges it energetically. Same with sending love to people, things, and situations. Interesting. So I'm pretty sure we already read that yesterday. So here we go. When you're ready, this is how you heal. This is when you are ready to change your life, read this. So that'll be the title, I think, of this one, will be when you're ready to change your life. Oh my gosh, I have such a habit of going like this with my hair. I'm still doing it. What if, in the moments you feel most alone, you begin to realize that you are also free? What if you could see in these very moments, what you fear most, you are also completely unburdened from the expectations. I need to start that again. Can I start that again? What if you could see that in these very moments you fear most, there we go, you are also completely unburdened from the expectations of others, able to define and redefine yourself, to explore life on your own terms, to hear the sound of your own voice? What if being on your own in any capacity is a sign of self-sufficiency and courage? What if you've already made it? What if instead of believing your aloneness is a sign you have failed, you realize that it is proof that you have accomplished the most daring task of all? I already know where I feel like this is going. I mean, I don't know if this goes into this, but that being alone, being a sign of failure, the only way to properly heal at first is to be alone. And then once you hit a certain point of healing, you're meant to continue healing with others. Just like it's important to heal alone, I've often heard that you also need other human beings in order to practice out these, newly healed whatever's with. You need other people to interact with and to reflect off of to see if you really have healed, to apply the lessons I'm hearing. What if instead of believing that your job is not enough, in compensation, in status, in whatever you've chalked your inferiority up to be, you began to realize that no set of tasks could ever define the whole of who you are? What if you began to understand that a job is a means to an end, and you doing anything to... It cut me off again. and you do anything to contribute to your or your family's well-being and security is important, and yet only one facet of success. What if instead of believing that you must be the best to be good enough, you realize that you have somewhere to wake up and go, something to wake up and do, is a purpose and a gift that should never be taken for granted? Can I read that last one again? Can I just reread it? Sorry, guys. What if instead of believing that you must be the best to be good enough, you realize that you have somewhere to wake up and go, something to wake up and do, is a purpose and a gift that should never be taken for granted? Yes, I needed to reread that. What if instead of believing that you have failed, you begin to recognize that failure is just life's way of moving you in another direction? What if instead of counting up all the times things haven't worked out precisely the way you imagined they would or should, you considered that perhaps you were being led somewhere better? What if you found awe and reverence in the fact that there is a force so powerful protecting you, perhaps one you cannot even name or see or even believe in, that is refusing to let you have even the things you beg hardest for because there's something else you were so destined for? What if instead of thinking that your life was meant to unfold seamlessly, you realize that the courage it takes to keep opening doors, even if they all close, is part of the process? What if instead of losing hope in the world and life itself, you allowed your failures to strengthen your faith, making you see there is a path for you to walk and a force field holding you to it, no matter how hard you may try and get off? What if instead of begrudging someone for not being precisely the person you imagined they would be, you realize that the offering of someone's time is the ultimate sacrifice and the epitome of love? What if you realize that they are under no obligation to be who you think they should be, and the most loving thing you could do would be to set them free of the expectations you hold in your own mind? What if you realize that they don't have to be just as you imagine in order for you to exchange the love you are meant to share? What if the gift you're receiving right now is the chance to witness the rawness of someone's heart, their edges and their imperfections? What if the journey is really asking you to love a flawed person, so you might be able to love your own flaws in your own way? What if the life of your dreams is not one where you do all things perfectly for an audience within your own imagination, but one where you have a few things you care deeply about and passionately about, and spend your life tending to them, releasing into the nothingness all the other cares that did nothing but hold you back from your own love and life? What if your body appears precisely the way it is meant to, but you are so busy focusing on the flaws that nobody else notices, you're overlooking the beauty that everyone else sees? What if you believe that there's something wrong with the way you look because you've spent an excessive amount of time fantasizing about how light and free perfection would feel? What if all you needed to do was simply look around you, to the people you know, the people you don't, the people who coexist in the world beside you? What if you truly began to realize that almost nobody exists within that fantasy, and yet so many are still deeply and completely loved, fully alive and happy, walking in their truth and thriving as all they were meant to be? I'm not saying that there aren't real problems in your life, only that it's very hard to actually identify those problems when you're so busy trying to correct non-issues, so preoccupied with questions that have no answers. You could spend your entire lifetime wondering if you are worthy and enough and beautiful and successful, and you will never come up with anything concrete. So you have a choice. You have a choice how you build your own perception around what exists. What if cleansing your mind with hopeful, joyful, positive thoughts is the rebalancing that's been long overdue? After so many years of existing solely within the most negative interpretations you could come up with. Where am I? Oh, we're at the end. What if, after an entire lifetime of being sold the idea that the point of your life is to exist as perfectly as possible, you could now open up to the notion that perhaps you are, instead, here to enjoy the ride while you're still on it? So that's the chapter for today, my friends. So I'll let you think about that. I'm thinking about all of it. And we will get a few cards for you. What cards do I want to get for you? What cards do I want to get? I'm being called to get one more healing card, since we're talking about healing. And then we'll get some affirmation cards. So let's see, one last card, one last message to end the reading. Why, Spirit? Why? Why do you do it? We have making waves, momentum is building, it's your time, achievement. It's your time, interesting. And planetary waves, soul mission, trust the inner call, soul team. Interesting. Planetary wave. Let's read that one first. Planetary wave. It's on page 116. Your soul chose to come into this body on this planet at this moment in time. You didn't come here on your own. You are part of a larger soul team, soul tribe. Sometimes you can feel as if it's just you in this thing all alone, but that couldn't be further from the truth. You're one droplet in a vast ocean of consciousness, here to flow with your life. You're being called to trust the current of your own river and to answer the call deep within. Take the weight off responsibility that you need to travel this life on your own. Call in the ones who get it. Realize that you're part of a larger team. You are but one thread in this great tapestry of life. Your mission is clear. Keep doing what you're called to do. You never know the full impact you being here on this planet will have and is already having. Keep trusting the call within. The more you embrace who you really are, truly are, and surrender to the flow with the current you're being called to, the easier it will be for your people to find you. Like two rivers that meet and remember that they're made of the same things, you are not alone in your calling. And your affirmation, I trust my inner calling and play my part in the greater plan. And then we have making waves. So that'll be our last card. Making waves, 104. This is going to cut me off, so I'll have to go to another part. The waves are rolling in and they're waiting for you to catch a ride. The winds are at your back now and gently guiding you towards your destiny. I'm seeing 6 of Swords energy with that one. Guiding you into calmer waters. They're whispering for you to really enjoy the ride, which is what the book said. The book was talking about enjoying the ride, not trying to be perfect. Interesting. There are clear skies ahead and waves keep rolling in. It's impossible for you to miss your moment or to not answer your calling. The only risk is that you don't make the most and enjoy this ride. It could have something to do with sharing your voice. This is an extremely positive, encouraging card. Your commitment is paying off and your prayers are being answered. You're being supported by forces both known and unknown to you. This is most definitely your time. Things have been building up for some time and momentum is all around you. Whether you're working on a creative project, having an impact in your professional life, or creating something in your personal life, this card is a confirmation that great success will follow. So put in place whatever you need to make the most of this unique opportunity. Now is the time to ask for what you want and let yourself be truly seen. So much is on your side and harvest time is here. Do whatever you need to truly ride the waves of your destiny. All you've been working towards is here. And your affirmation, I open my arms wide to receive the bounty of what I've created and say yes to enjoying life fully. You might want to blow some cinnamon into your doorway. I'm not even kidding. So let's get some affirmations for you, my friend. Affirmations. We have, in stillness I receive. It's interesting. We had a card come out yesterday about stillness that we talked about. Spiritual alignment puts my manifestation into motion. So aligning spiritually, aligning with your spiritual beliefs, having the courage to believe in those manifestations is what I'm hearing. Directing my focus onto what's thriving creates more of what I want. So taking your focus off the things that aren't working and putting your focus on the things that are, showing gratitude. My true safety lies in my capacity to align with love, with the love of the universe. Manifesting is the creative process of aligning with the energy of the universe to co-create an experience that elevates my spirit and the spirit of the world. And we'll just get a few more for you. I release time and let the universe show me what to do. Surrender, Empress energy. Also, for some reason, I'm hearing that, I'm hearing Moana. I'm hearing that song about Tafiti. I think it was Tafiti. They have stolen the heart from inside you, but that does not define you. You know who you are. Anyway, I can do less and attract more. So sometimes it's not about doing more, it's about doing less. It's about more reflection, more surrender is what I'm hearing. And we'll just get the bottom of the deck. I choose to be a super attractor and have unwavering faith in the universe. And I'm also going to get the top card. When I introduce joy to a situation, I change. I'm having a hard time communicating today. I change the vibrational frequency of what's happening around me. Beautiful. So I'm going to leave it there, Soul Tribe. Just wanted to come in and spend a little bit of time with you today. And yeah, I will see you next time. Have a good night. Remember to be nice to yourself. Remember self-love, kind words, 5 things you love about yourself. Did you have a little talk with yourself when you woke up this morning? If not, do it before you go to bed. I had a little talk with my guides before I went to bed. But yeah, I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.